Well, millions of people woke up this morning to massive outages all over the internet. Chaos spread online as the Cloudflare outages crippled the internet. And they're now claiming that it has been resolved for the most part. And they have given us a brief reason of what they think it was. My opinion is going to starkly differ from what they're claiming it is. But the question is, were we under attack? What the hell was going on? And why does Cloudflare have so much power to cripple the internet the way it did this morning? And that is what's creepy in and of itself. Now, I've got a lot to share with you, but let's start first with what went down here. And here we are, and this is on Daily Mail. Chaos online as massive Cloudflare outage cripples half of the internet. Cloudflare experienced a massive outage on Tuesday, knocking out dozens of major websites offline and briefly exposing millions of users to privacy risk. That's the key right there that I want you to focus on. But anyway, the company, which provides web security, speed, and routing services for millions of sites, connects users to websites and applications through its vast global network, meaning the Cloudflare goes down, a huge portion of the internet falls with it. Issues began about 6:48 ET, affecting services including X, Spotify, OpenAI, Uber, and Grindr, according to the outage on Down Tracker. Cloudflare acknowledged the disruption, describing it as an internal service degradation that may intermittently impact some services, and confirmed that a fix was underway. Experts have warned that outages at centralized internet providers do more than cause inconvenience, but also create moments of exposure for users' private data. The outage underscores a growing concern of internet infrastructure, as when a single centralized company holds the key to much of the web, a technical problem instantly becomes a privacy and security problem for millions of people worldwide. In other words, the company that's supposed to protect us from malicious attacks has issues and goes down. I think there's a lot more to the story. In fact, now that they're back up and running, they're claiming it's some kind of issue within. I can't say I so much believe that in my own personal opinion. But before I dive in, just a quick break from my sponsor. While everyone was watching the headlines, the Trump administration released a document that could reshape the mining sector. It's real and it's happening right under Executive Order 14241. It's not just about mining. It is a national security imperative. Now, in an official report to the White House, the administration just named the Palmer Project in Alaska as a key asset for Americans' mining independence. Vizsla Copper has just acquired that project. In fact, we're talking about an estimated $3.5 billion in ground value, containing the very copper and zinc and even silver that is vital for our military and our energy grid. This is a government-backed move to fast-track domestic production and even puts Vizsla trading in the U.S. under the ticket VCUFF at the center of all the action. Now, we've seen this happen recently with other Alaskan mining companies, specifically Trilogy Metals and even Nova Minerals. They got government backing, and when they got that, their shares shot up over 200%. Vizsla Copper trades in the U.S. under the ticker VCUFF and in Canada as VCU.V. They are definitely worth a closer look. Check out the link in the description box below for more information, or go directly to VizslaCopper.com. So what I want to show you next is what went down specifically to kind of give you that. Here's Down Detector, and you can see all the upticks right at the same time. You've got Twitter, you've got Spotify, obviously Cloudflare, OpenAI, Grindr. That's kind of funny. I don't know who was working with that stuff late at night, but whatever. From Zoom to YouTube to T-Mobile to Infinity, you have all of these. Even Amazon went down there as well, and ChatGTP was hit pretty hard. But these are all the ones that were being reported by Down Detector. And this is the symbol that everybody woke up to. In fact, like I said earlier today, I logged on my website, and that is the information that I received, and I was texting my web guy, hey, what's going on? And then, of course, looked into the internet and bang, found out that this was going on with Cloudflare. Now, Cloudflare has now come out and said, well, for the most part, it has been resolved. Here's theguardian.com. Cloudflare outages cause error messages across the internet. U.S. company that defends millions of websites against malicious attacks says it believes the issue is now resolved. But what the hell happened, right? And here's what they said, quote, a fix has been implemented and we believe the incident is now resolved. We are continuing to monitor for errors to ensure all services are back to normal. A spokesperson for Cloudflare, which is set up to prevent internet outages rather than cause them. Interesting, right? Apologized to its customers and the internet in general for letting you down today. They said, we will learn from today's incident and improve. To be clear, there is no evidence, they say, that this was a result of an attack caused by malicious activity, a spokesperson said. We expect that some Cloudflare services will be briefly degraded as traffic naturally spikes after the incident, but we expect all services to return to normal in the next few hours. All right. So in other words, there's something that happened within. We're not being real specific about what it is, but of course it wasn't a malicious attack. It wasn't a cyber attack. And I'm going to call their bluff because here's the deal. If it really was a cyber attack, that means that your personal information and your privacy more than likely was exposed. So if they admit that, now we're going to have to admit that your privacy and all of that is at risk to malicious activities, and that could get us in a lot of trouble. So personally, my opinion, this is not coming from Cloudflare, obviously this is my opinion, is I believe it could very well have been a malicious attack, maybe a DDoS attack. And here's why I say that. I'm going to put it in this way. Say a bank robber wants to rob a bank, right? Hypothetically. And in order to rob a bank, they've got a couple of options, right? They can knock out the power to the bank, go in there and take what the bank has, do their stuff. But then the bank would know, if you just turn the bank off, the bank would know that, oh, there's something up. We're off. Nobody else is. We're going to batten down the hatches, get security. Let's turn those cameras. They're going to prepare. Now, if the entire area was out, well, the bank wouldn't have a clue that they were the one targeted. Similar to this, right? Instead of just taking out one, they're like, we're going to take it all. And somebody was a target of that attack. We don't know who, because obviously everything was down. Could it have been they could have been maybe some kind of cryptocurrency thief. Maybe they were going after Coinbase, right? Or something like that. And I'm not saying they are, because I believe Coinbase was down too. Some of the cryptocurrencies were down on Down Detector as well. And I'm kind of going through that. But that's the thing. Could have been that? I don't know, and I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm saying there was something that was targeted, but we don't yet know what it was, if it was some kind of cyber attack. It's the only thing that really makes sense. You're not just going to down everything like that. I don't think somebody just spilled something on a server, right? Which is kind of like what they're making it sound, because they're the ones that are supposed to be defending us from these attacks. And if you go after those people, you're going to knock out a whole lot of people. And you know that if you're some kind of hacker. And we've got a lot of foreign enemies, do we not? We've got China, we've got Russia, we've got Iran, we've got people within that hate our country. And we've just got malicious people who are going after money. But if you take money, say, being the root of all evil, right? I think money is at the core of it and could very well be what happened. And maybe you disagree with me, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Anyhow, wanted to bring this to your attention. That's my 2 cents on what went down. Anyhow, again, that's my opinion. I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.